The records are now open. Welcome, everyone, whether you're joining on Instagram or whether you are joining on StreamYard. We are about to jam for the next half an hour in your Akashic Records. This is Akashic Answers with Emily. I am your host, Emily Harrison, founder director of the Akashic Academy. I'm working with visionaries and thought leaders who are ready to truly change their reality by tapping into the ancient esoteric wisdom of the Akash. Akash is a Sanskrit word that means ether. Ether is primordial energy. This is the energy from which the other four elements, earth, wind, water, fire, it all stems from the ether. And we have the ability to tap in to this realm of consciousness and extract information. We're going to talk more about this. We're going to play in the Akashic Records. First of all, let me just invite you to take part in the rise, in the revolution that is happening on our planet right now, the revolution of empowerment. And let's get this message out to as many people as possible. Help me blow up the algorithms. Just take a moment, let your finger be a pinball on that heart, like, love, share button. The more of us truly that tap back into our abilities, our talents, our skills, our quantum skills, this is our DNA coming online, the more powerful we become. And I don't know about you, but there were a lot of things about my life. There still are a lot of things about my life that I want to consciously create. I want to create differently. And before I learned about the Akashic Records and how to read my Akashic Records, I was really struggling with understanding my purpose, my mission here on the planet. I was struggling with a lot of mental health stuff. I was anxious. I was depressed. Anybody can relate. If you can relate, send some love, likes, hearts across the screen. Oh, I was financially a mess as well. I did not have the ability to source and resource through my genius. I had the ability. We all have the ability. I just didn't have it turned on. Right? I wasn't operating at a high enough a level of awareness to understand my life and what I was creating. But when I came across the Akashic Records and I began training in my Akashic Records, I learned how to read my Akashic Records. Everything started to make sense. I wasn't limited to Emily's human mind and human experience to understand my life and to make sense of it. I had access to super conscious intelligence. That's what your Akashic Records are. Okay, the records are the realm of consciousness that hold all information, past, present, all possible futures, and is recorded from a neutral perspective. Neutral means unconditional love and zero judgment. If you want to look at this through a religious perspective, I grew up super immersed in the Southern Baptist Church. I don't know if any of you all are religious. Anybody grow up in a very religious household? Or very religious now, being very religious now or very spiritual now, I think is a good thing, right? It's tapping into that source energy and intelligence. But I did it in a really different way when I learned the Akashic Records. Okay, growing up immersed in this Southern Baptist, the Bible Belt, and that experience in my life growing up in church, we were taught that the book of life, which is referred to in the Bible, was a place where Jesus writes your name once you get saved. That's how you know you get into heaven. I would say there's some symbolic and some metaphoric relevance here that we might need to look at more deeply. Okay, through my training in the Akashic Records, we are taught that your name holds the vibrational signature of your soul's journey throughout all of time. Okay. And that vibrational frequency of your name, whatever that is now, the vibrational frequency of your name is how you tap in and get the information from your records. Interesting, though, that if you connect the book of life, though, and this is a catalog that your name is logged in. And I also truly believe that once you learn how to read the Akashic Records, that's what being saved means that we have, okay, in the context of religious being saved, it means that we've invited Jesus into our heart. in the context in terms that I would use right now, it's about Christed consciousness energy. It's about inviting that Christed consciousness energy, that quest for our potential. Christ was an avatar that came to this planet to reveal what our true human potential was. Remember, that dude's doing some miracles, y'all. He's walking on water, feeding the masses with the fish and the loaves, turning the water into wine. Well, we definitely need that one, right? And we have that potential to be as loving and as magnetic and as powerful creators as the Christ. So inviting Christ into your heart, opening up the heart energy, allowing your heart mind to come online, allows you to tap into a higher frequency of intelligence, of Christed consciousness intelligence, which gives you wisdom, guidance, and clarity on how to get out of your stuck situations, basically. Okay. So for me, that looked like understanding what my passion and purpose and my mission is here on the planet. It looked like understanding why I got myself into financial situations where I was poor. I didn't like that. I felt helpless. I felt depressed. I felt frustrated. I felt like a victim. This is how I got my power back. So I want to play in this energy with you all today. I want to invite you to start lighting up my chat box with questions. Hi, Phyllis. Hi, Georgie. I see you all here. Loretta, Roz, I see you. Debbie, Mary, Lisa Beck, Rain, awesome. The Lovely Life Medium, Ashley. Thank you all for being here. All right, so we're going to get down to business now and start using the Akashic Records to tap into that higher understanding so we can understand why we're stuck in the situations in our life that we're stuck in, whether it's your health, whether it's your wealth, whether your relationships are doo-doo, or maybe they're just confusing. Maybe they're not doo-doo. Maybe you've got some good relationships that are happening in your life, and maybe you've got previous issues coming up that are freaking you out a little bit. What's going on in your field today? Let's tap in and not only bring some guidance and wisdom in from the Akash, but also we are going to bring in some transmission, some energy healing today. All right. All right. So we talked about what the Akashic Records were. We talked about how we're going to use them. Talked about how transforming they're going to be. Start lighting up my chat box here with questions, y'all. Y'all are the show. How about I give you a couple of announcements while we're waiting for the questions to come in? I am super excited. I'm going to be speaking in just a couple of weeks in Tampa for the Full Disclosure Now conference. The speakers lineup for this conference is incredibly exciting. It's going to be from July 15th through the 18th. And if you are interested in in-person tickets, shoot me a DM. If you're interested in the live streaming aspects, shoot me a DM and I will get you connected with the information that you need. One other announcement that I will share with you all right now. We have a special deal for you all. Anybody who is ready to start training in your Akashic Records, we have 30% off right now of our self-study training, and this is a certification training. If you're watching on StreamYard, I left you the link in the coupon code up at the top of our comment strain here. If you are watching on Instagram, feel free to reach out, DM me, and I will get you the information. Okay, right on. I got some questions coming in here now. The Lovely Life Medium. What is the next step I should take to move forward in my spiritual business? Hi, Laura Lake. All right. So the Lovely Life Medium is asking about what she should do to move forward in her spiritual business. How many spiritual entrepreneurs do I have out here in the house? Actually, don't give me a love like hearts because I can't actually see who's sending them in. Give me an emoji in the comments if you are a spiritual entrepreneur. Sometimes I call you visionaries and thought leaders. You love my earrings. Thank you. A little sacred geometry going on there. How's the sound today, by the way? I'm purposely up-leveling the sound here. I genuinely hope it's better because I've got this little lavalier mic on right now that's giving me better sound, hopefully on Instagram. But I want to make sure it's doing the trick and giving me better sound because I don't necessarily like the fashion choice. I do have to say. And it sounds weird. Sounds weird. All right, I'm taking it off. Off you go. Bam. How about that? All right, Instagram, check 1, check 2. Is the sound better? And how are we doing over here? Everybody who's joining me on StreamYard. So that means Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. How's the sound for you guys? Sounds good? Okay. We just want to give you the best experience possible. All right. So for all of my spiritual entrepreneurs out there, we are going to do an activation that serves all of us. I'm going to tap in right now and get some information, some specific information for Lovely Life Medium. Now, while I'm channeling this for Lovely Life Medium, I also want you to know that if this information resonates with you, if you feel like, ooh, whoa, I like that, and your body responds, the message is for you too. Okay? All right, what's the next step Lovely Life Medium should go in her business? Woo! Teaching, training others instantly came through. That was very powerful. And then I'm also feeling that for everybody out there, we have to follow our joy, our passion. If you're asking from the perspective of just like what direction should I go? Generally, what happens is our mind takes over from there and begins to think about how we can expand the business. And you'll think of things like, what are people going to pay for? And how am I going to put that program, ABC program together? And we start thinking like this. Here's what the guides want you to think about. What would be so crazy, wildly fun for you? And that's the energy that we want to create with. All right. And we got to teach. We got to teach each other. We got to share our skills, our knowledge, our power, activate each other. All right. Let me know where you're tuning in from right now, everybody. And let's begin to create this visualization of a grid of light connecting all of us so that we can empower each other even more potently with this activation that's coming through. I want to engage passion and fun for you all right now. The guides are, even though I'm putting the tuning fork at my heart chakra right now, they're like, take it lower, Emily, take it lower. They want me to work down in the root chakra because for a lot of us, fun isn't safe. Okay. For many of us, fun isn't safe. It might take you back to your childhood. If you had a traumatic childhood, and you want me to hold space for you, you can let me know that in the comments. You can just type childhood in the comments. But the guides want to bring us back into a place of childlike awe and wonder and safety and safety and safety and restore that energy. Even if you didn't have that in your family, guides are bringing that in, restoring that energy right now. Take a deep breath in. Nice, slow exhale. Good. You can type yes in the comments if you are receiving this activation in your root chakra to feel safe, having more fun. Okay. And the second activation that the guides want to do is for our teachers out there, whether you're doing that formally, informally, or with a weird accent that come out your mouth every now and then. Guys, want to bring in some activation for our teachers. All right. So many of you, ooh, this is a good one. So many of you have gifts, skills, knowledge, experience to share with the planet, yet you feel weird and uncomfortable putting yourself out there. You say, oh, I'm not the front of the camera type. I'm back of the house. Not anymore. All right. So the guys want to bring in an activation of the heart mind, especially for all of our teachers out there, so that you can begin to see yourself differently. You see the importance of what you're doing differently and that you heal the wounds the wounds around truly it's ego. I know it doesn't feel like ego because a lot of times we think of our ego as the cocky version of ourselves. And you're like, that's not the cocky version of me. That's the shy version of me. Don't want to get out there. But ego, and if you've studied with me, if you've studied in my classroom before, you know that ego is anything that defines ourselves as separate from God. Okay? You want clearing and healing in your ego so that you can tap in to knowing and seeing yourself as the God, goddess creature that you are. You can type yes. If you want to know what that looks and feels like, the guides are going to bring that in. Ooh, powerful work today. All right, Lovely Life Medium says that makes perfect sense. Teaching is so much fun for me. Thanks a ton. Right on. You're welcome. Let's celebrate. Everybody, let's get some claps. Celebrate the expansion coming in. All right, let's see where you guys are all tuning in from. I saw some Canadas in here, some Canadian. Laura from Nova Scotia in the house. Rooting for that safety, 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 safety. Yep. Let's see who else we've got. Minnesota, Southern California, New Brunswick. Right on. Saskatchewan, Canada. Right on, you Canadians. Thank you all for being here. I'm coming to you from the high Sierras in Reno, Nevada. We also have powerful vortex energy here, by the way. Lake Tahoe is one of the 2 places in the United States where the Kundalini energy of the planet surfaces and touches the surface of the planet. So we get good and empowered here. All right, I'm inspired to tell you all a quick story about teachers and the souls that I've worked with going through the Akashic Records training who have created programs to teach others their wisdom. And sometimes it's even the Akashic Records. It's not always the Akashic Records, but sometimes it is. And if you are somebody who is wanting to create a teaching program and you feel like you need a little help and support, reach out to me. One of my favorite stories about helping one of my colleagues create her own Akashic Records teaching program, because once she went through the training, the Akashic Records lit her up so much. I mean, she got back the power similar to what I'm talking about, right? We're feeling overwhelmed. We're feeling depressed. We're feeling like we don't matter, not sure what direction to go, feeling exhausted, feeling like there's more. So she lit up as she went through this process, Laura. And Laura had a 9-to-5 job that she was working in before she made the transition. But this changed everything so much that she decided to create her own Akashic Records training course. And she launched this course as a deep dive training, a deep dive experience, and created over $75,000 worth of income in her first launch. So the Akashic Records are not only designed to help heal you of your shit, but they're also here to help you step into the highest potentiality. Okay? You want to step into a higher potentiality, light it up. Light it up, light it up, light it up. Okay? I'm an inherent teacher too. I used to set up my stuffed animals and dolls and bunnies and Cabbage Patch Kids and I had a Chubble. Anybody out there have a Chubble? My Chubble was a cool little mystical creature because it had like the little hood. It actually was a purple hood, very Melchizedek. And I taught that little troll Chubble everything I knew. All right, let's get some more questions going up in here. We've got Nighthawk. Nighthawk, thank you for being here. Nighthawk says, I would like to know how to work with my gifts and not attract lower vibrations. Awesome. Who else wants to know how to work with your gifts and not attract lower vibrations? Yes. Okay. Here's the key to understanding how and why we attract lower vibrational energies. It's the thoughts that you're stuck on, the stress points in your life. You know, a lot of times we can think about psychic attacks, right? Or when I'm training my students in the Akashic Records and we astral travel and we come back, I'm like, close the door behind you. You don't want to be dragging anything in from the astral realm into your space. I want to leave that woo psychic aspect of the conversation at the door. And I want to talk about your everyday life as a human. The negative thoughts in the Bible, the weapons formed against you that aren't supposed to prosper, by the way, if you invite Jesus into your heart. But the weapons may no weapons formed against you shall prosper. The weapons that are formed against you are your negative thoughts. They're your stressful thoughts, your frustrated thoughts, your resentful thoughts. And we all have them. I even have them too. I caught myself the other day seeing exactly where my stressful thoughts had taken me. They'd taken me through about an hour of Google searching. That's an hour's worth of stressful thoughts that I pumped out there into the field. As soon as I figured I did that, I'm like, oh, darn, cancel. So that's the best way to protect yourself, is to work on the thought plane. Really audit. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, guys. Really audit your thoughts. And if you just set an intention to start auditing your thoughts, you're going to begin noticing more. Another thing that you can do in order to audit your thoughts, set a timer on your phone 3 times a day. Stop, check in with yourself. Say, how do I feel right now? If you feel like shit, you've been thinking some negative thoughts. Okay, so the thought plane is really where the guides want to work when it comes to using your gifts and not being subject to lower energies. What is it? What did you call them, Nighthawk? Lower vibrations. Okay. Here's the other thing that the guides are saying. Get playful with your gifts and skills. Be very, very playful. The more playful that you are, the more fun that you have, the higher your vibrational frequency will raise. And that's really, I mean, it's the same as getting sick, right? We could look at lower vibrations as shit that makes us sick. Lower, I said the S word a lot today. Let me try not to curse anymore today because my mom is here. Sorry, Mom. But what happens is when our vibration gets lowered, usually because of our negative thoughts or the emotions that follow that, we can become a vibrational match to lower vibrating entities. Laura Lake says, hi, Mom, by the way. She's on Instagram. Mom is on StreamYard. Just connecting you two. But sickness could also be considered a weapon formed against us, right? What happens is we're not in control of our thoughts and our emotions, so our vibrational frequency raises or lowers, and then we're vibrating at the same vibrational frequency, a vibrational frequency matched to germs or dis-ease in our life. That's how we create dis-ease. So we vibrate that frequency long enough that it takes physical manifestation in the body. All right. Okay, the guys want me to talk a little bit more about ascension symptoms, though, because sometimes that can feel like you're getting sick, and the guides don't want you to confuse using your gifts with getting sick or tapping into a lower vibrational frequency. Okay. So ascension symptoms come as you begin to use your gifts and skills. Gifts and skills. What are these gifts and skills that we're talking about? Right now, what I feel the guides talking about are our intuitive gifts and skills, your psychic senses. And that's really the basis for where we start, right? And then things like telepathy start turning on. Things like our dreamscape starts turning on. Telekinesis. Transmission, the ability to help others move forward in their timeline, right? So this is what we mean by gifts and skills, but it really starts with you understanding your intuitive gifts and skills, your psychic gifts and skills. If anybody needs help and support with their turning on your psychic gifts and skills, send me a DM. Let me know that you need help training the psychic skills. I've got a free training that I'm going to send you back. The reason I'm asking you all to send me a DM is because sometimes it's hard for me to find the live comments on the show. And I want to make sure that I get them, okay? So when you start using your psychic senses, so you start exercising your clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, what happens to a lot of us is we get ascension symptoms. Now, what's happening is your DNA is turning on. It's like your bandwidth, how much energy that you can hold moving through your body increases. And your physical, emotional, and mental body have to come online. They have to increase their bandwidth to hold more energy. Sometimes what you can notice is headaches. Sometimes what you can notice is tiredness. Maybe you notice excitability. For me, mostly when I'm up leveling and my bandwidth is expanding, which we want to continually happen, right? I'll be more tired, or I will have headaches, fatigue. Okay, you just want to drink lots of water. Sometimes achiness in the throat and the sinuses can play a part too, because any mucus that you have in your body is old consciousness, and it's going to want to work its way out. So many of us are learning how to step in and speak our truth. So you might feel scratchiness in the throat as energy is leaving. Okay, but don't confuse that with necessarily that you're being attacked by lower vibrational frequencies. Make sense? Cool. Hi, Brian. Hi, Deb. Hi, Lynn. Yep, Lynn. Lynn's heard my statistics before, about 60,000 thoughts per day. Not all of them are necessarily meaningful. Yeah, actually, most of them are not meaningful. 90% of them are negative. 80% are the same you had the day before. And 95 to 99% of your thoughts are subconscious. You don't even realize you're thinking them. All right, so the guys want to bring in some awareness for the mind to help us audit. Thank you, Laura, for the audit, right? And this is going to help you audit your thoughts, bringing light in around the mind. You can type yes. If you want to know yourself more deeply, know what you're really thinking, you can type yes. You can say yes to this activation. Okay, the guys want to bring in a little heart medicine right behind that, because what a lot of us can do is we can go, especially if you've got good girl or bad girl syndrome as part of your thematic issues you working out in this lifetime. We got a lot of people pleasing coming in. For a lot of you, what can happen is when you start doing this work, if you don't have support or you don't have the awareness of how all of it works, it can be challenging, because what happens is you're going to judge yourself for all of these bad thoughts you've been having. Now that's a deal breaker, because that will lower your vibrational frequency. Okay. So a little heart medicine for those of you who are people pleasers. Man, people pleasing can really be incredibly debilitating. Whew. I worked with a gentleman who had that stuck in people pleasing, and it was preventing him from doing his life's work. And once we were able to clear that in the Akashic Records, he almost instantaneously, like being compelled, got busy with his masterpiece book. Anybody else writing books out there? All right, let's take one more question today. Clayton, I'm glad you're here. I haven't seen you before. If this is your first time, welcome. Any first timers out there? Let me know if this is your first time too, by the way. Okay, I gotta get my glasses on for this one. And I have to position them just on the right part of my nose so they don't whack my eyelashes and poke me in the eye. Clayton, I am in so many years doing multidimensional work. Excellent. Thank you for being here. When I'm going to come online with my soul awareness, what am I missing? Ooh, good one. Okay. Soul awareness. Right now, the guides are saying they're further defining that for me. Clayton, please feel free to participate. Obviously, this is your question. But the guides are saying soul awareness. They're instantly talking mission, like awareness of our mission here on the planet. Let me know if that's what you mean, but that's the direction the guides are going to take me right now. So anybody else feel like you've been doing this work, you wanted to figure out the mission, but you don't know what the mission is yet? Anybody else coming in? Charlotte, your first time. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to see what the guides have to say about understanding, discovering, finding the mission when we feel like we've been looking for it. Okay. It's all right here. What the guides are saying is that everything that we have dreamed into being, in terms of our manifestations, if it hasn't materialized in the physical world yet, it's here. It is all around us. It's our job to see it. Okay. This expression of the new earth, as we really, it's the second coming of Jesus. It's Christ in consciousness coming back online for the planet and us stepping into our potential, right? That is what I feel like the second coming of Christ is. That's the next evolution of our souls. And it's here. It's right now. It's all around us. We've already done it, the guides are saying, but we can't see it yet. So in order to see it, to see what is all around us, and guys, 99.9% of our entire universe is existing in the 5D. This place where we are in a mirage, a matrix, the Maya, the illusion of our separateness from source, the illusion that we are victims, the illusion that we are oppressed. It's a very small part of the galaxy that actually, where we're working out this experiment, okay, y'all? 99.9% of the galaxy is already at 5D. So here's how we see it. Slow down your breath. Everything that you want to see that is currently unseen, you can see by using your breath to slow you down. Okay? You want to be in the 5 to 7 breaths per minute range, and you want to practice this at least 3 minutes a day. And you are going to begin to see the blessings that you have created, that you have called in, that maybe you're not ready to receive yet, but they're there. They're waiting for us. We have to slow down. And in my Akashic Record training, my master class this week, there's a moment where it dropped into my awareness. What if slowing down our breath was the map to the 5D? All right. Practice that. Play with it. Let me see what the guides want to bring in terms of an activation here so that we can see what is unseen. It's your job to play with the breath so that you can slow down. We're going to do an activation in the third eye. Let's see, where can I get so both parties can see me? Say yes if you would like this. By proxy, sending the frequency of Om into the third eye to awaken your clairvoyance, your inner vision, to see what is unseen. Yes. Good job. All right. If this has served you, if you got something out of this today, let me know. Send some love, likes, hearts across the screen. Yes, slow down to raise your vibration. Interesting, right? Good stuff. Yo, baby, Melinda is in the house. Thank you for everyone being here with me today. I want to extend a special invitation to you for those of you who are ready and excited to study in your Akashic training. We've got a really great opportunity for you to do that at 30% off. If you want to know more about that, I want you to reach out to me. Send me a DM and I will get you the coupon code and the link where you can sign up. This is the moment of shift in my life. I got Melinda Lane here too, who just popped in, who studied with me. This is the moment where everything started making sense, really. I started to understand from a higher perspective. I started to see where my erred thinking was, why I was thinking that way, and shift and heal that. Okay. It's really important that we do the self work, that we do our own work, because that's cleansing a lot of our dense vibration out of our field. And that's an imperative step in the evolutionary process for you to tap into your genius. Okay. Ooh, Peter in the house. What's up, Peter? So, okay, one more thing that I wanted to share about this training, because this dropped into my field this week too. And I was like, whoa, I've never thought about it like that before. Um, uh, Life review, the death journey. Okay. Think about this. The death journey, the story as we know it goes, when we die, we have some sort of a life review with God or Jesus or some being where we go over all of the things, the lessons, the parts we messed up, the parts we did great. We go through this self-understanding, right? What if you could do that while you were still here on the planet? That's in essence what this training course is it's a life review from God perspective, goddess perspective, super conscious intelligence perspective about who you are, why you're here, why you've had the traumas and the challenges that you've had, and what your gifts and skills are, how you get to step into them. It's pretty freaking awesome. And it's why I do what I do. So if you have had fun today and you want to keep training, reach out to me. I love you all. I'm going to see you back here. No, I'm not going to see you back here. Am I going to see you here next week? Ooh. Yes, I will see you back here again next week. It's the week after I will be in Tampa. I love you all. Thanks for being here. See you soon.